to a good friend of the program. He is a retired colonel, David Giammona, also co-author of the new book coming out next year, Your Mission in God's Army. All right, Colonel, always happy to have you with us. Want to get your take on what's happening in Israel. We understand they're really unleashing some pretty amazing new technology in this war against Hamas.
Oh, absolutely. The Israelis are always on the cutting edge. I've been there, and of course, I did war in the Middle East and Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Afghanistan, but nobody has the forces and the technology, not the United States in some cases, that Israel has. They have upgraded their weapons and their tank technology. They have the #1 tank in the world. So all kinds of great things. We just got a report from a friend of ours in the Middle East that says that rockets are still raining down on Tel Aviv from the north and the south. Iron Dome is working, but some of those rockets are coming through. So, it's very, very tenuous over there. The media is not reporting everything that's going on the ground right now, but we're hearing it live from people who are actually living there in Israel.
It's shocking when you see what the Israelis have been able to discover from day one. Colonel, they were telling people, hey, look, these hospitals and these schools, they're actually being used as cover for these evil terrorists. Nobody wanted to believe them. And sure enough, it turned out every single thing the Israelis said about Hamas is 1,000% accurate.
Oh, absolutely. All of our intelligence agencies, especially the U.S., but around the world, the big countries, they all know that Hamas is using hospitals, schools, churches, synagogues, anything they can as human shields. And what I've told other people in the past and on other shows is this: hey, let Israel invite the media, which they have started doing, to come down into the tunnels. It's not fake news. It's actually happening. Hamas will do anything to get the world on its side, and they do a lot of propaganda, a lot of fake news. Absolutely.
Meanwhile, when you look at what's happening in this country, just the other day, you had the Hamas riot outside DNC headquarters, Colonel. And it was interesting. One of the Democrat lawmakers said she felt more scared on that day than she did on January the 6th.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. We just had the march on for Israel a few days ago, almost 300,000 people in attendance. It was peaceful. But you could see the other side, the pro-Palestinian, the violence. It's all about that. And they'll do whatever they can. But, it is, again, fake news. They're not really, it's fake protests, because what's going on with Hamas, the beheadings, the torture, the things that they have done to the Israelis, they're getting everything they deserve and more. And it is in Israelis' intent to wipe them off the face of the earth. That's the only way that we're going to have a really good Palestinian state, when Israel just cleans Hamas out of there. And we're hoping and praying that will happen pretty quickly.
But what does it say about this country, where you've got Jews on many university campuses that are coming under attack? They're hiding. In some cases, they're being told to hide. You've got Palestinian flags being raised over a high school in California and a town in Massachusetts. What's going on in this country, Colonel?
Todd, this has always been here. Anti-Semitism has been in the world since day one. And even Adolf Hitler was destroyed in Nazi Germany. People don't realize in the days and years afterwards, the Jews were still being persecuted by all kinds of different countries, the Russians, communism. And in this country, there's all kinds of hidden and not so hidden agenda. You have the BDS movement in most of our major universities. It's been going on for years. People haven't been, noticing it, but there's a pro-Palestinian Hamas connection all over our country. A lot of anti-Semites. And what people don't understand, there are even Jews who are pro-Palestinian, very liberal on the Democratic side that, want to see the Palestinians exceed and get, in the program. But what we're seeing right now is, Todd, you're exactly right. There's a lot of anti-Semitism in this country as we speak right now.
Colonel, something happened last night. This was not on our list of things to talk about, but from a security standpoint, it really got me to thinking. Last night, Thursday night, Monday night, or Thursday night football game, you had, it was the Bengals, and all of a sudden they had to stop the game, not once, but twice, because someone flew a drone right into the stadium. And I'm wondering how, a lot of people have drones. We saw what they were doing with them over in Israel on October the 7th. And I'm wondering, how do you protect yourself from something like that? Some guy just flies a drone into a big football stadium, and we're very fortunate that, there wasn't anything on that drone.
Well, Todd, there is no protection. If someone wants to do someone harm, there are so many ways they can inflict that harm right now. And we got to realize something else. I know it didn't happen last night with this drone, but there are sleeper cells in our country that are going to be, awakened and taken into action against us as this war progresses. We know that our IDF over there in Israel and our Secret Service, our CIA, FBI, all know we have sleeper cells in this country that can do some great deal of damage. And if we're not careful, we're going to see some of those in the near future. I hope that's not the case.
Me too.
But we've got to be ever vigilant all the time, in the sky, on the ground, everywhere, because it can happen at any time and any place.
All right, Colonel David Giammona, folks, a wealth of knowledge, new book coming out, and we've got a link to it over on the live show blog. Be sure to order it, Your Mission in God's Army, Discovering and Completing Your Faithful Assignment Before Christ's Return. All right, Colonel, really appreciate you. Hope you and your family have a happy Thanksgiving next week.
Todd, thank you so much. Always great to be on this show, and happy Thanksgiving to you and your family as well.
All right.